If you're looking for cheap, safe, and reliable MT, make sure you go check out my new sponsor, safembamt.com. Use code JC2K for 5% off and go build that God Squad you always wanted.
Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. And in today's video, we're going to be doing episode number 19 of I Build Your Teams, the series where I build my subscribers' teams into the best teams possible for MyTeam Unlimited and or Triple Threat Online based on how much MT they have and what their playstyle is, as well as what version of the game they play on. If you want to be involved in a future episode of this video, make sure you follow my Twitter. Link is always down in the description below, and be on the lookout for a tweet about this series on Friday nights. And yeah, respond to that tweet with your team and let me know what you want, or I guess that you want to be in the video. Before we hop into it, if you haven't, one more thing, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Again, appreciate y'all a lot for helping me hit that 2,000 subscriber mark yesterday. But yeah, without further ado, let's hop into it and let's see what we can do with some of these teams. First team today is a huge flex squad. He's got 4.4 mil MT, which is crazy. He's open any suggestions, plays current gen, and isn't sure if he wants to use LeBron or Kawhi at backup small forward. I see you have both of them. So me looking at this team immediately, I don't love this Blake Griffin card, to be honest, but I think, honestly, I haven't used him, so I could be wrong. I will definitely admit that I definitely could be wrong about this Blake Griffin card, so I'm going to leave him in the team for now. I say I don't love him, but I haven't used him, so I don't really know. He might be elite, and he is a free invincible point guard who's 6'10". I bet he's actually very, very solid. I'm probably wrong about him, or at least it's possible. But that being said, I like your point guard position. I like your shooting guard position. Honestly, I'll say this. I like your whole team. I'm glad you have Taco already as well. The one thing I will say is I don't love this Moses Malone card compared to Bill Russell personally. I like Moses Malone. I think he's a solid card, but I think Bill Russell's definitely a better option. You say you want to pick up Yao for the power forward position. So when his price goes down a little bit, I would 100% recommend picking up that Yao Ming, especially with how much MT you have, and replacing Moses with Yao. And then the one other thing I would do, first, I would sell Kawhi just to make some more MT and put this LeBron in here for Kawhi. I definitely prefer LeBron at the backup 3 over Kawhi. I love Kawhi, but I don't think his release is quite as good as XM base. That's just me. He still has an amazing release, but also LeBron has a bigger player model, and I think that helps him in terms of his slashing and in terms of like rebounding and even defensively. I love Kawhi on ball, but LeBron in lanes is probably the slightly better card. And then everything else is super solid. It's not something you need to change. If I was going to make one more change, I really like this Rudy Gay card. And I'll say this, pick one of Rudy Gay or Andre Kirilenko. I love them both, but I would probably pick AK just a tiny bit more. And I love Rudy Gay, but I'd probably replace him with a guy like Paul George. I'm so high on the invincible Paul George. I think he is the best shooting guard option in the game right now. He's just incredibly good at either position, whether you're running him at point guard or shooting guard. And I'm just a huge fan of the card, and I would probably run him at that starting shooting guard, and then I'd probably flip Hito and Blake, because I think Hito is probably the better option. Again, saying that, I still haven't used Blake, so I'm not 100% sure of that, but that's probably the only other like nitpicky upgrade that I'd make. But like, this team is absolutely incredible. Obviously a huge flex squad and a great way to start off this video. Second team today comes in from Dawson. He's got 300k. He's about to get Blake to run his power forward. He's going to apply Pokashevsky because he's his favorite player in the league. He doesn't have playstyle. He's on current. All right. So looking at this squad with 300k MT, he says he's going to get Blake, so that's a nice free upgrade there. This Bobo can 100% slide to the backup power forward position and be super solid there. And then Luka Doncic is solid at the point guard position as well. I like Terry, I like Ferry, and I like this James Wiseman card still. That being said, I would definitely look to make some upgrades. First thing I would do is I would definitely look to try to sell this Tracy McGrady card and Anthony Davis just to get the MT that you can get out of those two cards. And then also plug this Blake in at power forward, bring Bobo to the backup power forward, and try to replace this James Wiseman card with the Dark Matter James Wiseman card if you can. I like this Wiseman, but the Dark Matter is free and he's very good. So if you can get that card, definitely pick him up. Also, for the shooting guard position, once you sell this T-Mac, replace him with a guy like Cam Reddish. He's free. Again, if you can get the challenge done, huge W. I have a video on my channel as well on how to beat this challenge specifically, and I'm sure other YouTubers have video on this James Wiseman card and how to beat his challenge for the Dark Matter. So those two upgrades would definitely be huge, and then that would give you a lineup of Luka, Cam, Terry, Blake, and Dark Matter Wiseman. And then off the bench, I would definitely be looking to pick up another point guard. You said Poku for the backup point guard is totally fine since he's your favorite player. I 100% support that, so pick him up there and you'll probably have around, I would estimate 200,000 MT left to fill out the backup shooting guard position and the backup center position. And the way that I'd probably look to fill up those two positions is by picking up Eddie Curry, again, a free spotlight card, super good option at that center position, and pick him up to play this backup center position instead of Christian Wood. I think he's a significantly better card. And then the final upgrade is I would look to get a guy like Rudy Gay to replace Elgin Baylor. Rudy Gay is an exceptional card and you can get him for a buyout. You could make all those changes with the amount of MT you have, and if you do that, you will have such a better squad. If, for example, you're running Luka, Cam, Terry, Blake, and then Dark Matter Wiseman with who did I say? But you said Pokashevsky at the backup point guard, and then Rudy Gay, Ferry, Bull, and Eddie Curry. You make that squad, you're looking at a significantly better team, and you'll still have some MT to spare as well. Moving on to the next team for today's video, we got Fires. He's on current gen with 1 million MT, and I'm looking at the squad, and it looks super solid. A lot of really good players, but a couple things that I definitely would change. And the biggest things that jump out to me is the Jonathan Isaac card and the Shaq card. I'm just not a fan of the Shaq cards release. I think it's super hard to green. Same thing with Jonathan Isaac. It's a little bit slow, and it's just not the most consistent jumper in my opinion. So I'd probably sell those two guys and make yourself an extra 300,000-400,000 MT. Maybe not quite that much, probably about 300,000 MT. But you make that change, and then like you go pick up a LeBron to play instead of this Jonathan Isaac. The Team USA LeBron could play the 3 for you. And then honestly, with the amount of MT you have and where we are in this game at this point, I'd move Kareem to the 4 and pick up Yao Ming. You pick up LeBron, you pick up Yao Ming, you're spending a large majority of your MT, if not close to all of it. But you're going to have one of the best teams in the game. That Yao Ming card is so good. You're going to love running him, and I think a lot of people generally do love running that card. Just a super solid option at that center position. And you make those simple upgrades, LeBron, Kareem, and Yao, your team's going to look incredible. Next squad today comes in from One Eye Only. His favorite card is Blake. He's got 200K. He's willing to make any changes. Keep up the good work. Love the videos. I appreciate that, bro. And today, looking at this team, we got Blake and Rudy, super solid. Luke and Cam, also solid. Cam and Anton and KD, decent. Moses and Bill is super solid at the 4, and then KP and Wiseman. And me personally, the two guys who I think jump out of the page at me as guys who I would probably look to replace are KP and Kevin Durant. I still love this Anton Jameson card. I think he's one of the most underrated threes in the game, can really do it all, and has one of the best releases in the game. But I would move him to the bench and sell KD, and then just like with the previous squad, I'd look to pick up LeBron James to play that 3 position for you. I think you notice a really nice upgrade there, and by selling KP and KD and then picking up LeBron, you're actually going to save some MT, I think, by selling those two guys and then picking up that LeBron card. And then the one other thing I would do is I'd move James Wiseman to the starting center and bring in Eddie Curry off the bench. I think Eddie Curry can give you just as much, if not more, as what KP gives you, and is totally free. I think you might actually save a little bit of MT by making those moves and make your squad a lot better just with those 2 simple moves. Next team today comes in from AJ, my guy. He's got 300K MT and definitely has a solid squad. Not sure about this camera angle, but the starting lineup, I like it a lot. Bench is decent as well, but I think Denny, Bailey, and Chris Bosh are your biggest holes. So the ways that I would look to upgrade this team, the first thing I would do with 300K MT is I would definitely look to replace this Denny Avdija with either a Hito, Turkoglu, or Rudy Gay. I think it's preference. I probably prefer Hito, but if you wanted to pick up Rudy Gay, I would not blame you at all. So I definitely pick up one of those 2 guys to play your backup point guard position, or even start Hito and bring Ben Simmons off the bench. And then the next thing I would do is I'd actually move starting lineup. I'd move Cam Reddish to the 2, pick up LeBron, just like I recommend for the last other teams. LeBron is just so good and so cheap that I have to recommend him for a lot of squads because he's such an elite option and he's very cheap right now. And then move Cam Reddish or Luka to the backup 2, because Cam Reddish is now starting at the 2, and then Terry to the backup 3, and I think that fixes that. But that is going to spend a lot of your MT, probably close to about 200,000 MT, maybe even a tiny bit more. I may not be right about LeBron's price entirely, but probably around 200,000 MT, which leaves you with about 100,000 MT left. And I would sell Chris Bosh and pick up a guy like Dino Raja. I think he's a cheap upgrade. Get one with Hall of Fame Showtime. It's not going to be expensive, and you will notice a difference because he's a much better option than Chris Bosh. And then I would try to save your MT from there. But if you make those few upgrades, again, looking at a much improved squad, I really think that would help your team out a lot. Second to last team today comes in from my guy Adrian. He runs a 10-man. He's got 186K and it plays on PS4. And looking at this squad, again, we got some really good pieces, but then you got this Derrick Rose card, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert. Those are the guys who kind of jump out as me as players to upgrade. And the easy upgrade, first of all, is Rudy Gobert. Just swap him out for Eddie Curry. Just go pick up that Eddie Curry card. He's super easy to get. I have a video on my channel on how to get him super easily first try if you want, but just pick him up instead of Rudy. You'll notice a difference there immediately. And then I would probably sell this D-Rose and pick up a guy like Hito Turkoglu. I think they're going for around the same amount of MT. D-Rose may even be more expensive, and I would definitely just make that upgrade because then you get arguably the best point guard in the game for Hito, and you don't really spend any MT. And at that point, you still have probably about the same amount of MT left, maybe even a little bit more. And I think one other upgrade that you can make without really spending any MT is to go get Cam Reddish. It is 100% worth doing that challenge. Knock him out, start him at that 2, and then bring Kobe off the bench. Or you could even sell Kobe and pick up Rudy Gay as well. You could get Cam Reddish and Rudy Gay to run the 2s for you. And I mean, at that point, you're looking at a super solid squad. And that's actually probably what I would do is sell this Kobe card. But if you're a huge Kobe fan, which I do believe actually you've said, especially with the Lakers fanatic name, that you are a big Kobe fan, just keep running Kobe, have fun with him, and pick up Cam Reddish to replace Jimmy Butler. But pick up Hito or Rudy Gay, pick up Cam Reddish, and pick up Eddie Curry. Those are easy upgrades. you'll notice significant difference in your squad just by making those 3 changes. And then the final team today comes in from my guy Corrupt. He's on current. He's got 600k and he's willing to make any changes. And looking at this team, this is another team similar to the first team that really doesn't need any changes in my opinion. Really no positions stand out to me as issues. But that being said, if you want to make an upgrade with 600k, the one that I would recommend is similar to the first team actually, is picking up Paul George. I think he's just so elite that if you have the MT, he's worth picking up. Play him at the 2, bring LeBron off the bench. You could put LeBron at the backup 3 and Cam Reddish at the backup 2. Because I do think, as much as I like Luka and as much as I love Luka in real life, obviously as a Mavs diehard fan, I just think defensively he's a little bit limited. He doesn't quite have the player model or the wingspan or the defensive animations to be as elite as a guy like Cam Reddish and LeBron. You put Cam Reddish at the 2, LeBron at the 3, and put this Paul George right there in that starting lineup, and you're looking at one of the best squads you can possibly build in this game right now. And probably not spending, I mean, you're spending a decent amount of MT for sure. I'm not going to say that you're not spending a lot of MT, but you'll still have some MT left to spare to play with and save for future content, and one of the best teams possible to build in the game. And yeah, that is going to do it for this video. I think we knocked out these teams pretty fast. And hopefully I was able to help y'all out. If I didn't get to your team this video, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'll try to help y'all out in the comments if y'all have any questions about how to build your team. And also make sure to follow me on Twitter again and be on the lookout for a tweet about this series every Friday night for a chance to be included in the next episode. But yeah, that is going to do it for this video. Again, if you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.